on that on a valuation, who do you recommend that if the bank is going to require a third-party valuation, what do you guys then do? Who do you refer your clients to?
John, you want to take that, or you want me to?
Yeah, we use a company called Gulf Coast, and they've been doing certified third-party valuations for us for quite a while. Sometimes lenders will have their own preferred valuation company that they want to use, so it kind of depends. But most of them are familiar with Gulf Coast and will use or update Gulf Coast's evaluation for that process. So that's one way of doing evaluation, and we don't always need a certified valuation. It just depends on the business. Usually what we'll do is, using a number of resources, reference guides and comps and all kinds of things, we can help the owner decide on what his price is, and then we can help them do the math to make sure that that business is priced reasonably so that it will pay for itself, pay its new owner a reasonable salary, and have some money left over for capital expenditures and so forth. So sometimes that's the way to sort of check our work on valuations, is make sure it'll work for the buyer, and does it cash flow at that price.
Right, that's what we do. The same
worksheet we created that really helps with that.
We do that same kind of work. Sorry to interrupt you, Carl.
No, you're fine.
So I can totally relate. But the bankers sometimes require it, but then sometimes don't. But if we have enough information in there for them to understand how it's going to cash flow post acquisition, then they've taken it a lot of times.
Right.
Here's a tip too. By the way, Gulf Coast, about 12, 14 years ago, I told the owner, I said, you got to change the name of your company. Gulf Coast doesn't play in the Ozarks. So he changed it to GCV Valuation, John. So we got to start calling him GCV.
I still call it Gulf Coast.
I still call it Gulf Coast too, just because I remember it from forever ago.
Darren Mize will tell you it's GCV now. But because of the process that we use with the confidential deal room, where we upload all of the seller information, and you heard us go in detail into that information, we give GCV, or the valuation company, access to that deal room. So instead of having to ship documents back and forth between wherever the valuation company is located, we can expedite that process down to where it takes less than 2 weeks to get a certified valuation if it's necessary. But that's John, right. What percentage of ours require valuation? 10, 15?
Oh, I would say most of the time we don't do a valuation at the time of listing. I'd probably 90% of the time we do not. We do know that it's with most lenders and lenders in the SBA, if there's over a certain dollar amount of goodwill, they're going to require one. So, we kind of know going in. And another thing to add to what Mary Beth said is that we provide the buyers with a template for a business plan and help them through that business plan so that they can see what's going to happen when they're the owner of that business. So it's just something that we do. Again, we're working for the seller, and by doing that, we're helping the buyer.
Yeah, and I would add, Mary Beth, that valuation of a business is an extremely difficult and detailed thing to do. There's art and science involved in it. There are numbers, and we speak that language very well. There are also unknown factors. That's why I hate rules of thumb. Rules of thumb do not work in valuing businesses, and we often get that question, well, my cousin, third time removed from Kennesaw, sold his business for X, what's mine worth? Instead of looking at, is your business in Northwest Arkansas? Is it in the construction business? What's happening in the real estate market in Northwest Arkansas is not like it is in Chicago. So every business has a value that takes in more than just